Free Meat YouTubers, this is Lady Grave Dancer, and I am Sunday's host here on Witches of the Moon. We have decided that we are going to start popping in a few herb videos here and there, and possibly some other things that we discuss, you know, just to kind of change it up a little bit from here and there. So I decided to do a video on St. Johns Wort, so which most of you who watch my channel know it's like my #1 herb because it keeps me mentally stable. So yeah, so we're gonna go kind of like my herb 101 videos that I do on my channel. I'm gonna go over the medical properties and then the magical properties of, and I actually made myself a list because I actually found more things that I didn't even know about St. John's herb, which I thought was freaking awesome. So we're gonna go over all that good stuff right now. The main thing that I think everybody knows about St. John's Wort is that it's used for depression and anxiety. I use it for depression. It keeps me from, because whenever I get depressed, I get really angry. And at one point in time, they had me on Prozac. This has been years ago, and it just made me too shaky. I didn't want to take that chemical, and so I started taking St. John's Wort, and we bought it in the store, and then I started learning about herbs and all that good stuff and hearing from other people about herbs, and I started making my own tinctures. So the tea tastes horrible, but you can also drink the tea. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'd rather just take the tink and appetite or increase in appetite, loss of sleep, anxiety, being tired all the time, anger, you know, like what I was doing. Because you're treating the depression itself, it also takes care of those issues as well. A lot of people might not realize that they're depressed because it might not be on such a high level of, you know, depression where you're like clinically depressed. But the majority of the population does have a tidbit of depression in them, and you know, an herb like St. John's Wort is something that can really, really help with those issues. For example, senior year, it gets really stressful for seniors when they're getting ready for their exams and graduating and moving on with life and stuff, and that can cause a form of depression, you know, or getting ready for football season, you know, things like that can also cause, you know, small forms of depression, and St. John's Wort would be a very good tincture to have, or even just to drink a tea at night for the kids. It's not recommended in children at a certain age. That's something that you'll have to look up because I don't know. I know I give it to my children. My middle son, they wanted to put him on all kinds of medicine. I was like, no, I got this. Don't worry about it. So that was one thing that I know for sure that it's okay with my kids, but for yours you would want to check into that. And if any of you have looked on my Etsy site, which it's on vacation mode right now, I made an oil of St. John's Wort, and St. John's Wort oil can be applied to bug bites, sunburn, inflammation, pain, and actually hemorrhoids, and it helps with all of these things. So if you don't, I know you're like, hemorrhoids, what? Yes, hemorrhoids too. What do you call those veins? Varicose veins? It's where the veins are painful and they're kind of popping from the skin. This an oil made of St. John's Wort applied to that will also relieve the pain and help with inflammation there as well. So it has a lot of good properties that you would want to use. And this is also a good thing for those of you who have maybe a family member or a child that is into sports. If they get bruised, or they get sprains, or if their muscles are just achy from the workout of it itself, St. John's Wort oil also rubbed on that is better than buying Bengay. It's sorry. It works better, and plus it's, you know, it's a natural. You won't. It's a natural oil, and you won't go around smelling like methylanium all the time, and it really does help. So that's also something you may want to keep on hand. It doesn't take much. A couple weeks soaking in maybe some almond oil, grapeseed oil, and you got an oil that you can use for so many different things. And a biggie that I know that it's been used for in my home is with my mother. Her hand, she has fibromyalgia, but she also has arthritis, and she uses that oil on her hands to help with her arthritis. And I was told by my grandmother that it's really good for rheumatism, if I'm saying that right. I'm horrible with words, but with rheumatism. And a good one for you ladies who are having children. If you rub it on to your breast when you're pregnant or on your stomach and all those areas, it will help prevent stretch marks. Yes, I wish I had known that with the first kid because he's the one that really jacked up my body. I think I already mentioned the bug bites. I don't know, I mentioned sunburn, frostbite, chapped skin. I know my husband works outside and sometimes it gets so windy that his face gets chapped right here, and it's really good for chapped skin as well. There's a lot of different uses for it. My main use for it is for my anxiety and depression and things like that. So, but also I wrote this on the side because I did not want to forget to say it. Like I say, everybody, before you use any kind of herb, you do want to look into it. And if you're on any kind of medications, you definitely want to talk to your doctor before taking anything. But there's two things that I know for sure about that if you're taking, then you do not want to ingest St. Johns Wort. And that is if you're taking any kind of birth control. It will take away the effects of the birth control, and if you take any kind of diabetic medicines, it will take away from that as well. So if you are on either one of those, for sure you don't want to take St. Johns Wort. You have to find something else. But other than that, ask your doctor if you're on any other kind of medicine and see what you can find out. Now for the fun stuff, magical uses for St. Johns Wort. Now I pulled out my Scott Cunningham Magical Herbs book because I had read in here about this and I wanted to share that with you because I had never heard that before and I thought it was awesome. It says, when placed in a jar hung by a window, St. Johns Wort protects against thunder, bolts, fire, and evil spirits. And it placed in a jar hung by a window. Yes, placed in a jar hung by a window. And any part of the herb placed beneath the pillow will allow an unmarried woman to dream of who she's going to marry. So I thought that was pretty cool. I never heard that, so that's awesome, and I wanted to share that with you. Now what I had heard about St. Johns Wort is if you can get it, see, I have it like this, so I would actually have to put it in a little sachet. But if you can get it in its whole form and tie it up and hang it on the doorways, it will also help against evil spirits and bad dreams. Because I buy it like this and I don't have anywhere I can pick it, I put it in the little bags and use it the same way. And I usually put a little bit of cinnamon in it too. Just, you know, that's my thing. And I know that it's really good to be used during if you got a poltergeist and you're dealing with that, or if you're doing an exorcism, used as a smudge stick. So if you can get it, which is awesome if you can get it like that. I bet if I go online I can find it in its whole form instead of crushed up like this, because I would love to have a smudge stick of St. Johns Wort. I think it would be good, but I'm sure that you can burn it on a cold disc as well. It just won't smell as flowers of the St. Johns Wort. It is used to produce a yellow dye, and the stem is used to produce a red dye. When it's used in ritual, and it's usually midsummer, the yellow is used for midsummer rituals, and the stem, which is red, is used for rituals for death or rebirthing. Wort is a very respected herb in the witching community, not just with witches, but with every kind of practitioner. St. Johns Wort is a big, well respected for centuries. It's been respected and used. I read somewhere that knights, was it knights or pirates? Maybe it was soldiers, but if I'm not mistaken, in the medieval times, because they were using swords. I had read somewhere that when they got cut with a sword, that they would they use the leaves and the stems, and they would crush it down into some lard, and they would make bandages of St. Johns Wort to put on their cuts from the swords to help heal them from that. So, and I know that knights used to carry it on them to make them feel like they were invincible when they were given to them from a witch or sorcerer or whatever they called it back then. They thought they were invincible if it was given to them like that. So I thought that was pretty cool. That's pretty much what I got on St. Johns Wort. I'm pretty sure there's probably more that you can find and look up on it. It's a very good herb, magical reasons and medical reasons. It's a big part of my life. I buy it in the pound bags from Mountain Rose Herb because it's what we use in my house. So, and it keeps us level-headed. So if you have any questions about this herb, please don't hesitate to ask. Put them in the down bar or private message me. And if you're not subscribed to my main channel, it's Lady Grave Dancer. And you can come and check me out over there. And I answer questions there pretty much every day. Or you can check me out on my Facebook because I answer those questions a lot faster because they go directly to my phone. Okay, well, I guess that's it for this video, and I will see y'all at the next one. And as always, blessed be.